It's episode 3 of From Where We Stand podcast. Welcome, I am your host, Memko. A few weeks ago, I wanted to go out for dinner. I had had a long week and I just wanted to treat myself out to dinner. A solo dinner date, I've done many of those before. It's not a new thing to me. But I don't know. I already even had my outfit planned. I was going to wear this top, this amazing, and suddenly I just didn't feel like going out anymore. I was like, you know what? There's rice at home. There is Chinese that I ordered the night before that I didn't even eat because I think I ordered two things and I ate one of them. And so I was like, you know what? I'll just eat the other one. There's rice at home. And so I stayed home that night and I had a wonderful night. Probably watched TV, a couple of shows that, I was catching up with at the time. And that reminded me of something that I believe is an experience common to a lot of us Africans, where you'd want to go out, with your family, with your parents, and they tell you there's rest at home. Especially when we're younger, when when you're just tired of the food at home and you're like, you know what? Why don't we eat something else? Why don't we go out to eat? And one of the adults tells you there's rest at home. I know I heard that a lot, and I know a lot of us Africans definitely can relate. And that, coupled with my experience a few weeks ago, where on my own, right now I'm grown and I can go out and I can do whatever I want, and suddenly I did the there's rest at home script on myself. That reminded me of something very crucial, something that I would really want us to talk about, which is there's love at home. I think that the way we raise girls, upbringing of the girl child usually involves lots of harsh treatment and punishment. And even when there's no punishment, but just like harsh scolding, perfection, very high expectations of the girl child. She has to be perfect. She has to be prim and proper. She has to be in line. She has to be respectful. She has to be very meek, very gentle, but still bold when, she needs to be bold. Sometimes she's not even encouraged to be bold. And just like the way we raise not children, girls especially, the way we raise the girl child is we set the bar so high for her, and any little mistake is, there's scolding, there's yelling, there's punishment, or something in between. Smothering girls with love is not a common practice. When we're raising girls, it's, you can do this better, you can clean better, you should be tidy, you should be this, you should be that, all striving to different levels of perfection. But when we raise boys, it's, you know what, go out with your friends, just don't come back too late. Or go out with your friends, just don't get a girl pregnant. We give guys, boys more leeway, and that gives them time to explore. That gives them time to have adventure for themselves, whether it's good or bad. But then for the girl child, we want her to be in line. You must get married. You must not get pregnant. You must not have a boyfriend at so age. But then when you're in your 30s, you must be married. And all of this just points back to the fact that there is a lack of love at home. When we raise girls, we don't smother them with love. Like I said, that word smother is literally what we need to start doing for the girl child. Because trust me, the world is already hard. The world is already going to be so harsh on her. The world is already going to be so mean to her and demand so much from her, sometimes much more than she can give. And so the responsibility of us as parents and future parents, frankly, is to make sure we smother our girls in love. Yes, smother her in love, because the world is already going to be hard on her. A lot of us, I know, even my upbringing, a lot of us were raised with strict parenting. You have to do this, you have to do that. And that's how girls are raised. Even when you look at society, the way things are expected of women, it's like women are expected to be perfect, levels of perfection that men are not held to. So, my reminder today is to make sure that we create an environment where there is love at home for girls. There is love at home. Let her feel safe at any time to run back home and know that there is love there. If you have a daughter or you plan to have a daughter, make sure that you let her know that home is always safe. Make sure you let her know that there is love at home, copious amounts of love. Let her bask in all the love that is at home, so that by the time she steps out into the world, she doesn't have to question herself. She doesn't have to question her worth. Also, love at home could be the friends that you keep company with, because home is not always a person. Home isn't always the family that you were raised in. Home can also be the people you choose. So let her know that as she grows up, the people that she chooses to surround herself with can be home. That would actually make her more intentional in choosing the friends she associates with, in choosing even relationships, romantic relationships. When you give her safety at home and give her that concept of the fact that home isn't just a place, that it could be the people you surround yourself with, then you're going to help your daughter and your, girl child or girl children to be more confident in themselves. Because I think that's what makes the difference for women. A lot of us were going through years and years of soul searching, years and years of healing, years and years of trying to undo the damage that was done. And for me, when I reflect on my life, I try to glean the lessons. Yes, there were experiences that were painful, but for me, it's how can I pay this forward? How can I use this to shape a better future for myself? And that made me realize that when we raise the girl child, we are too hard on her because we want her to be perfect. And the truth is that it's from a good place. The way we raise girls, it's usually from a good place of the world outside is so harsh. The world outside expects you to dot your I's and cross your T's. The world outside expects you to be perfect. So as caretakers, as parents, they try to instill those things in you just so that when you get out into the outside world, you're able to cope. But I think the reverse should be the case. I think the home should be a place of absolute, complete safety and love, copious amounts of love for the girl child. Because whether she likes it or not, when she steps out into the world is going to be mean. The world is going to do what the world does. But when home is a safety net, it gives her that solid backing, gives her that solid foundation and grounding that she needs to step into the world. So don't think as parents that you need to do the job of being hard on them to prepare them for the hard world. No, the world is still going to be hard. Whether you're hard on them at home, when they step out, the world is still going to be hard. And hard, that's too much of a combination. So when home is soft and the world is hard, then she knows that when life gets tough, she can run back home. That's what we need. That's what I think we need to create for the girl child. It needs to be a different reality. I know the generations before us, they did the best that they could. They did the best they could with what they knew. But I think now we have so much more information. We have so much, we have a lot of tools. We have emotional intelligence, even that the previous generations didn't really have or couldn't really develop because they were living in survival mode. And now I think we're exiting that survival mode and we can be more intentional as to what the future should look like for our children. And so that's why I'm bringing this to you guys. There is love at home. The same way we're told there's rice at home, we don't need to go out to look for food. And frankly, it was true because home food was always better and will always be better than the food you eat outside, right? And that is the same way we need to raise girls. There is love at home. She needs to know that she's safe at home. She needs to know that she's loved at home. And she needs to know that home isn't necessarily a place. It could be the people that she chooses to surround herself with as she grows. Now, the final definition of home that I think will be very important as, we pass on this wisdom to girls is that home eventually is you. Home is right here in your heart. And no matter how hard the world tries to be on her, no matter how tough life tries to be, or whatever hurdles and obstacles life tries to throw at her, the moment you let her know that home is right here in her heart, that she is her home, that she's the best home that she'll ever live in, that helps her cultivate a new sense of self and breeds more confidence. That is what we need to raise girls with. There's no need for you to be hard on your daughter if you have a daughter or if you're planning to have one or hoping to have one. Even your nieces, your baby cousins, there is no need for you to be hard on them. The world already does a good job being hard on women. Let us be the safe space that she can run into. Let us be the best friend that she doesn't have at school. Let us be the sister that she never had. Let us be the confidence that she needs. Let us be safe spaces for women, for girls from when they are young, instead of picking her apart and tearing her every being, every fiber of her being apart. Instead of doing that, let us mold her in love so that she can know that she has a safe space at home, so that she can know that she has the right to choose the people that she calls her home, so that she can know that her entire being is her home and she deserves to treat it with love and respect so that it can be there for her to carry her through all seasons of life. So that she'll also know to love her body and take care of her body and speak nicely to her body, because that is the home, that is the main home that she gets to live in for all her life. Honestly, the way we raise girls, it leaves so much to be desired. There is love at home needs to be like a reminder to everyone, in every parent's, if you have any friends that have daughters, raise this conversation to them, show them this video. There is love at home. You are meant to be a safe space for your children as a parent. You're not meant to, do the work that the world is going to do, which is try to be hard on them. Don't do that. You're not preparing them for anything by being mean to them. You're not preparing your child for anything good by picking your daughter apart. Every little mistake should not be blown up proportions. If she drops a plate and it breaks, you're going to buy another one. You need to check that she's okay, that she didn't cut herself, not you're too clumsy and whatever words, nasty words that people try to throw at girls. Whatever your daughter does, as a parent, as a caretaker, as an auntie, you're meant to correct in love. And you're meant to let her know that mistakes are inevitable. It's a part of life. And then encourage her to see how to learn from those mistakes. Not tearing her apart. Not saying there's nothing good about you. I knew you could never amount to anything. Not using those words. I've had words used on me by people that were meant to take care of me at different parts of my life, like teachers, just adults. And that's why this doesn't really pertain to only parents. As adults, we have the responsibility to look after the younger girls that are coming up after us. It could be anybody. It could be in church. You're in charge of the children. It could be anywhere, right? We encounter younger women everywhere. So you don't even have to be related to her, but you need to know, right? Now that you've watched this video, you need to know that you have that responsibility of being a safe space for younger girls. Let them know that there is love at home. Let them know that we are not going to beat them up the way the world beats them up. Let them know that they are always safe. And let them know that when the world and everyone around them seems to, maybe for whatever reason, they are struggling with their own things, let them know that the home that they create within themselves is enough, is more than enough for them, is more than enough to carry them through. This is what I want us to begin to do as we are more conscious of the future that we want to create. I know that I'm personally so intentional about what kind of future I want to create, what kind of future I envision for my children. And so every mistake that I make, I try to turn that into a learning opportunity. What can I do better? What message can I pass across? What can I just learn? Or sometimes just be. Like, you're not perfect. You're not going to be perfect, no matter how hard you try. So sometimes you don't even have to learn a lesson from it. You just say, you know what? That happened and that has passed. Now moving on. So that you're not beating yourself up to attain this level of perfection that, frankly, is not for us to attain. Only God can. Just to summarize this, I really hope for a future where girls are loved more than chastised, where girls are built up from the inside out. Like, before she goes out into the world, she already knows, I am it. I am confident. I am loved. I am everything. I am enough. And that is because there is love at home. There's love at home, the home she comes from. There's love at home, the home she chooses for herself to surround herself with. And there's love at home right here in her heart. Thank you guys so much for listening to this video. I hope it inspires you. Please share it with someone that you know would absolutely love to be a part of this conversation. I hope that we continue this conversation in the comments, but obviously guys, let me know what this made you think of. Let me know what lessons that you hope to take from this episode of the podcast. And guys, I cannot believe it, but we're already on episode 3 and now looking forward to episode 4. Thank you guys so much for always tuning in. Thank you guys so much. I really hope that we just continue to grow this platform and this community. And till next time on From Where We Stand, I'm your host, Memko. Take care, guys. Bye.